Greetings all, Frog here. It's time for the Friday update from the pond for the 22nd of January 2016. I didn't realize we'd already moved on to Friday. So I'm recording this on Friday. It's late night Thursday, which is pretty much par for the course, and I'm perfectly okay with that. We are listening to music from Europa Universalis 4 today. It's only from EU4. These are all the DLCs that you could possibly get for music, so definitely go out and check those out. This is from Guns, Drums, and Steel, this particular track, and you could buy that separately. The other DLCs, I don't think you could buy the music separately, unfortunately. But again, the game is fantastic. You should go out and buy the game. You can get it on Steam itself. You can also go to ParadoxPlaza.com. I don't get any kickbacks from either one of them. I'm not in any affiliate programs yet. I probably will be at some point. I just haven't gotten around to it because, again, this isn't exactly what I do for my primary income, right? It'd be nice if I could someday, but we're not there yet. We gotta build up to that, and I think we're doing just fine. So where are we this week? You can see this. Ta-da! This is a bit of a different look because it's a little bit bigger, and because I'm just using a different recording software. So I'm actually recording everything really on a 1080p screen. I don't have to mess around with things. I don't have to change settings. I don't have to do any of that stuff with the video. It's very refreshing. And this is what it looks like. So we have done all the GeoGuessrs. Those are done. I've decided that I'm going to just start recording GeoGuessr, period. I'm going to do GeoGuessr all the week, done in advance, period. So that way I never have to worry about staying up late for a video to render. That way I can always get up in the morning and upload any videos when they're done rendering. I don't have to try and stay awake, so that way I can do that. Because I don't get up by 6 a.m. I get up about 7:30. So that gives me plenty of time to upload videos for 10 o'clock, but not for 6. So all the GeoGuessr is done. You can see that we had a Monday update this week, so this is an update after 4 days. But this is more of a future update, less of a awesome vacation update, which I did love, and I want to go back, but that's a topic for another time. And we are going to have another one going on. Update, that is. Not trip. Again, I wish, but no. Although I will be in Biloxi in May, so at least I'll get south again at some point. So the GeoGuessr this week has been the normal fare. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday have all been user submitted challenges. Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, those are all World 3 Minutes. Next week I'll talk about in a second, so I'm not going to really get into that, but I'm kind of tired of World 3 Minutes, so we'll juice it up a little bit there. But for juice it up? No, there's no Roy's going on. We'll spice it up. But we got that. So we had the Monday update that talked about the trip. If you haven't watched it yet, you should go back and watch the Monday update. It will tell you everything that I did in the Florida trip for the most part, and how much fun I had, and blah, 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 blah. If you would divert your attention to the Binding of Isaac, we have actually done that. We're going to do 5 a week is what I'm kind of pegging right now, and they end up being mostly dailies. I just like playing the dailies. Like, I'm going to play the daily when I'm done with this. I probably won't record this one, though, because it's really late at night, and my Binding of Isaac is kind of shaky, but I've been really enjoying playing the Binding of Isaac dailies. Hopefully you guys are enjoying that a little bit as well. So we're still going to do Binding of Isaac at 10 a.m. As it is. We've got 2 more to go, Saturday and Sunday. I'll record those Friday night, and we'll go from there. Bob's Mods RSO, episode 26 and 27 were the old recordings, and then 28, 29, 30, and so on. Those are the new ones. So you've already gave your feedback about how much better the audio is, so I really appreciate that, and I agree. Oh, I forgot. I left the door open so the cats can come in and out. Well, if they can come in and out, so be it. But they've been pretty quiet, so I'm happy with that. I have recorded today's episode, so it'll go up on time. And then I just have Saturday and Sundays, which I'll record tonight. Crusader Kings 2 has been very, very interesting. We've had a very long reign with this particular ruler, Matye, and we've been able to do a lot of stuff. We've been expanding in some very interesting directions and watching the Arabian Empire crumble because the stupid emperor can't hold it together when it should all be mine. Anyway, very frustrating. But it's nice to have Matye survive for very long because it does create a very stable realm. We don't have to worry about that. I'm still trying to do CK2 all throughout the Paradox Hour because the new DLC for CK2 is going to hit at some point in the next couple of months, and it's not going to be save compatible, so I want to make sure that I can get this campaign done to the point where I feel like it's done, which is probably going to be like another 100 episodes, so I've really got to get going on that. And I might just start doing like mega marathon recording sessions of CK2, which means I'm going to have to get everything else done. We had the live stream on Tuesday. There was a bit of a shake. OBS is just hot trash right now. The version 0.12.4 for Linux, and I'm not sure if that's true for all of the multi-platform in the 0.12.4s, but that version on Linux is hot trash. I finally was able to do some tests, and it turns out that, and this is for real, like I'm not making this up. If I have, like I've got the music playing in the background right now, if that music plays without OBS open, like it is right now, it sounds great. The minute that I turn on OBS, it warbles. I was using OBS to live stream, and I thought, well, you know, it's not been great for recorded videos, but for the live stream, we'll make it work. It's brutal, and I mean brutal. We recorded 7 minutes before I said, look, I'm going to try and do this SSR thing, and we'll record it. So we recorded it. I went back to SSR. SSR can stream. I didn't realize that. I now know how. It can stream. The problem is it can only stream one audio source. So I can work around that. Linux is beautiful with that type of thing. I can create null syncs, and I'll be able to route the audio as I want to. And we'll be able to have sound and audio going through SSR. I just haven't had time to do that yet. I'll do that over the weekend. I'm not entirely certain when, but I will do that over the weekend before we live stream. So it works fine. But then my internet decided to crap out. Like I've got statistics that show me what the actual speeds that I'm getting are, because I'm on Linux, right? So it tells you everything. You can't hide stats from Linux. It knows. And so when I did a speed test, which is great, and this is feeding my paranoia about speed tests. When I did a speed test, it showed me that at the moment I was getting 15 megabytes down, which I pay for 18. I understand it's a peak, so getting 15, I'm perfectly fine with that. Like, I get it. If a lot of people are using the internet at a certain time, it's going to slow down. That's perfectly fine. So 15 instead of 18, great, whatever. Upload speeds was only 1.2. I'm used to getting about 1.6, 1.7 on a speed test, but it was 1.2. Okay, I could deal with that. 1.2, that's not a problem. But then when I look at the stats of what the computer is actually receiving, it was receiving at a rate of just under a megabyte a second, and it was alternating between 50 kilobytes and 200 kilobytes a second. We're talking typical DSL speeds, not actual high-speed DSL speeds. Something's going on. I don't know if it's always been that way, and I've just noticed, and maybe OBS is better at buffering than SSR is, but something was going on. And so what happened is that the live stream had pauses in it. It had buffering gaps, which I've never had before. And part of the big problem with the buffering gaps that I've never had before, and people say, you know, when you stream to YouTube, that happens sometimes for the smaller channels, blah, blah, blah. Well, it kind of does, except that for whatever reason, my channel has never been treated like a small channel on YouTube, ever. I immediately had access to pretty much everything of being a YouTube partner. I'm a confirmed YouTube partner. Like, I'm not just some guy that's uploading videos on YouTube. I went through the whole process to be a YouTube partner, and it was confirmed. I am a YouTube partner. I don't know. It feels to me like it's really easy to do. I don't know if it really is easy to do. It feels easy to do. So, I mean, I don't understand how that could be. And like I said, this is the 24th live stream that I've done. Not all of them were to YouTube, about 20 of them or so, because I think I've done about 4 Twitch streams, and they were all fine. No problems whatsoever. And for some reason, this one, a lot of buffering. So when we come back next Tuesday, we'll have to see how it is. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if it was just a bad day of internet. I don't know if it was just a bad day of... I don't know. I honestly have no clue. So hopefully we won't have those buffering issues, because they got to be annoying. I only streamed for 2 hours, and that's why, because the buffering was just annoying. You know, I haven't gone back to the live stream either, to the VOD. It's uploaded now. It went live last night on Thursday for you guys. For me, it went, well, you know, still last night, because it's Friday when I'm recording this. I forgot about that. Oh my God, it's so late. So I don't know how that worked out. I probably should go back to see, but I'd imagine that there were buffering gaps in the live stream. All right. So, and again, I think it has to be something else. I have a variable bitrate right now for the video. I know I set it to constant bitrate when I streamed, so I don't know what was going on with that. I'm not very good with that side of the technical thing. Like, all of my computer programming and everything else has been UI stuff. I'm a UI expert. That's what I did was user interface, and then pretty good with like random generation and stuff, and doing those kind of event driven processes, but working with the actual hardware has never been my thing. So I don't really know how to diagnose that as well. It took a very long time, as you've noticed over the last 4 weeks of this channel, to figure out just what was breaking in the new 15.10. As it is, there's still a pulse audio bug. There are certain tracks that sometimes, and not every time, but certain tracks that when you get to them in the soundtrack will trigger a pulse audio reset. And I don't know why. And I'm not really sure how to debug that. It's very difficult for me to figure that one out. So that situation is not getting solved anytime soon. So we're going to be using the EU4 CK2 music a lot, and then I'm going to re-download City Skylines. We'll use some of the music from that and just kind of intersperse it all because, one, Paradox is awesome. They're amazing. Go to paradoxplaza.com and download all their stuff. I'm not endorsed by them, but you should do it because it's amazing. And they let their YouTubers do stuff like this and use it in the background of our videos, which is really, really nice. And, you know, honestly, go download their stuff because it's all very, very good. I'm just waiting for Stellaris. So if you're watching this, Paradox, give me Stellaris anytime. If you need me to beta test it, I'm here. I'm a Linux guy. I'll help you beta test the Linux stuff, right? How many Linux users do you have beta testing? I don't know, probably a ton. But if you want a Linux guy, I'm here. So, you know, let me test it. I could sign an NDA. I've been a beta tester before. I beta tested World of Warcraft. I beta tested Warcraft 3. I could do it. Let me in. I'm just saying. I know. So let's look at next week. Here it is. Next week, it's 25th. It's going to be the 25th installment of GeoGuessr 16, Season 2, through the 31st rendition, because the month will end on a Sunday, which is kind of cool. It's nice. And I've already got the schedule for that going up. That's not what you need to see. Factorio, actually, I just recorded this episode, so let me jot this down before I forget. Oil. Okay, that's pretty much all I ended up doing that episode. It was good, though. It was necessary. GeoGuessr. So I already have the schedule pretty much lined up. I'm going to have a challenge from Michael Mosca coming up on a Monday. It's Australia Day on Tuesday, so Lance and Derek sent me an Australia Day challenge. On Wednesday, Gilliam's got a US challenge. On Friday, Almost Genius is doing a Portugal challenge. And then on Sunday, we're actually going to have another Nighty challenge. It's a Japan-based challenge. So I'm excited about all that. All that will come in here. Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday is where I do challenges from GeoGuessr. Like I said, I'm getting a little tired of the World 3 Minutes. So I don't know. We'll maybe do some country ones. We'll do, I don't know. We've got a US one coming as a challenge from Gilliam. So we'll probably do maybe a Canadian, an EU, and an Argentinian one. I don't know. I mean, it'll be whatever the mood strikes me when I sit down to record these. But there'll be something, probably not World 3 Minute. There'll be a country like 4 minute. So it'll still be limited, but we'll be able to go a little bit more in depth. 10 o'clock, I'm still going to keep going with Afterbirth because I'm loving that game. I really do. I know it's not the best series on the channel. It's probably the lowest watched series, but I'm having fun, and I think that's important. If I'm not having fun, you're not going to want to watch it. So if I've got that in there, I have more fun when I go to record the other stuff. 2 o'clock p.m., of course, that's the Bob's Mods Factorial Hour. That will go through, and 6 o'clock will be the Paradox Hour still, where we're playing CK2 to try and get that along. I'm going to live stream on Tuesday, 8 o'clock. That will be on YouTube. Although if I still have buffering issues on YouTube, maybe I'll try Twitch. I don't know. We'll see. What I like about this schedule is that it's full. It's a 4 video a day schedule, and I know exactly what I'm doing, and I know I can do this, I can accomplish this. What I don't like about this schedule, I want to play more games. Like, I'd like to play City Skylines again. I haven't given it a try since I've upgraded the computer and the video card. It might work great now. I really would like to play more EU4. I think the next EU4 campaign will be not an Ansbach reset. I think it will be a Papal States one. Having thought about it now, I think it was Lanson that suggested I do, it might have been someone from Geelong, I don't know, one of my Australian buds had suggested that I do a Papal States run through and talk about all the theology behind it, because, one, nobody's doing that. And then two, I have a unique situation where my master's degrees are in music. But the composition degree, what I wrote was a Magnificat, a setting on a Magnificat, and I was doing exegesis about that, and that's a fancy term for Bible study. And I was doing different other types of scholarly research about the faith. I am Roman Catholic. I think I've mentioned that before. I don't blast anyone else. I'm open to everything. I believe in Catholicism with the little c, which is the all-inclusive Catholicism, as opposed to Roman Catholic with the capital C, which has become horribly corrupt. I think Francis is taking us back in the right direction, but it's definitely, I can understand how you say Roman Catholic and people are like, oh my God. Really, it's our God too. But the whole point is that Catholicism was meant to be all-inclusive. There's no Gentile or Jew, right? We're just one people. Hi, Riley. That's my cat. You can't see her, but she's down there. So it's really, an all-inclusive thing. I believe in equality of marriage, for instance. I'm very much a social progressive. We should have healthcare. It's ridiculous that this country does not have universal healthcare. We should be taking care of the least of these, right? It's all about the actual original Christian / Catholic message, which has been corrupt. I mean, you think about it, right? If you believe that Christ was a real person, he walked the earth 2,000 years ago, give or take, right? I don't know about you. The last time I played telephone, we couldn't make it 2 times around the room, let alone 2,000 years. So things obviously will become corrupt through time, and that's just, unfortunately, human nature. So anyway, long story short, I've done a lot of spiritual and religious studies. Spiritual too. I mean, I've read the Celestine Prophecy, right? That's a very spiritual book. That's many people consider to be quackery, which is fine. I've studied Gnostic Bibles. I've studied Judaism. I've got a really cool book of Psalms because musician, right? So the Psalms have always spoken to me. It's really cool because it's a side-by-side comparison of the original Hebrew with the English translations, and then there's commentary on it that says, well, this is what it says in the Hebrew, this is what it says in English, and here's why we've done that, because it's a new translation. It's a very cool book. It's by David something. I'm trying to look for it. It's on the shelf in this room behind me, but it's too far away. This room's like 13, 14 feet long, so that's tough to see book titles. Well, I can see the title, I just can't see the author. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. So I think that might be the next thing, is to do the Papal States. Now, unfortunately, Arumba is doing the Papal States right now. He's doing the Holy Trinity Challenge, which I think is cool. It doesn't interest me. So I think for mine, I'll actually research the events that are going to happen at the Papal State, because I can go to the game code and I can find all that stuff. It's probably in the wiki anyway. Actually, I probably don't even have to do that. And come at it from a theological standpoint. So I could say, okay, read the event. This is what actually happened, this is why it happened, and this is why we could do something else, and take it beyond just the game mechanics and actually talk a little bit of the story behind it and do some of that. Like, why does the Papal States all of a sudden have Avignon in the New Starts? Well, it's because that was right after the schism. They should have always controlled Avignon. They just didn't do that in EU4 for whatever reason. They decided as the developers not to do that. So now, as they're becoming more historically accurate, that's why Avignon is controlled by the Papal States. It's very interesting. The schism itself is such an interesting period of time. That's why I'm all-inclusive about Catholicism, by the way, just to harp on this a little bit more. It's because during the Great Schism, there were at least two different popes that claimed to be the head of the Holy Roman Catholic Church, and they excommunicated each other and all of the followers of the other people. So theoretically, all Catholics have been excommunicated anyway, so what does it matter? Right, just be all-inclusive. That's what you should do. It's what the Anglicans are getting right. Well, it's what some of the Anglicans are getting right. But you've got 2,000 years of tradition to fight against. So I'd like to do that anyway, is my point, is to play a little more EU4. And I think the Papal States will be the next one. We'll slide that into the Paradox Hour. But again, I want to just blast through CK2 to try and get as well as I can. We've gone through like 300 years now, almost, in about 150 episodes. So we've got to do another 400 years almost. And I'd like to do it in less than 150 episodes. So we need to start playing on Speed 4 and Speed 5. Now, it'll clear up. It'll clean up a lot more as we get closer to the end, because we'll just own more stuff. And eventually, when we have conquered the world, because that will happen, we can just play at Speed 5. And all we're going to be doing is putting down rebellions. It won't be an issue at all. So that will be very exciting. Yeah, I think... Yep, something is wrong. I bet one of the cats chewed my headphone wire. Because I was just playing with it when I'm nervous. Not nervous, but when I'm like talking. I'm Sicilian partially, so I got to do something with my hands. I was playing around with my speaker or headphone cable, and I was getting popping. So that's where I'm getting the bad popping from on those Factorio things. So it's good to know it is just the headphones. Still kind of annoying, though. All right, we'll leave those alone. But I'd like to expand. I really want to get back to 5 videos a day, but I don't think I can do it. I need to do something that I'm not going to try and kill myself to do. And as it is, I'm barely doing. As you can see, I still have 6 videos to record for this week on Friday. I'll be able to do probably 5 of them. 2 afterbirths, and then the other 4 on a Friday. Well, it's not like I have to go to bed. I can stay up. Anyway, whatever. I didn't get it done on the weekend is my point. So I want to get it done so that way during the week I can get ahead. And that's the important thing. I think when I'm at least a week and a half ahead, no, wrong. When I'm at least a half a week ahead at the end of a weekend, and I'm going to keep recording throughout the week, that's when I can start thinking about maybe adding a 5th time slot again. I don't know about that, though, so we're going to be hesitant. I don't want to burn myself out, and I'm enjoying everything I'm playing. But like I said, I would like to play City Skylines again. If Banished ever happens, I'm going to play some Banished on this channel, because I love it, but it's not on Linux yet. It will be, but it's just not yet. If we do... Yeah, this is really getting annoying. The cable is really starting to pop. Let me unplug and replug. Turn the volume down. Unplug. Is there a problem with the source? No, it doesn't appear to be. Get back in. Power the volume back up. It feels okay. I might have to put it directly into the system, maybe. That might be. We'll figure all that out later. So that's it. Oh, smokes! I've been talking for 21 minutes. I guess that's probably enough. If you have any ideas for things that you'd like to see me play, feel free to leave them in. I didn't talk about Ludum Dare. I'm going to do the Ludum Dare games. I think I'm just going to do a stream of those. I don't know which one, but I'm going to do an actual stream of the Ludum Dare games that I want to play for Linux that people have sent in that I should play. It's like way late for people to vote, but at least I'll get it out there and people could go download those games and have fun with them. So if you sent me in a Ludum Dare submission and I haven't done it yet, which obviously is all of them, I do apologize for that, but, what are you going to do? You're going to live life and do the best you can, because that's all we can do. That's all for the update this week. I hope you did enjoy it. If you did, go ahead and click the like button. Go ahead and like updates. It's perfectly good. Insert country here. I know you loved the updates. Hopefully you're still watching. I haven't heard from you in a while. Hope things are going well down there in Mexico City. Definitely subscribe to the channel. If you haven't done so, you're going to get a lot of stuff. Obviously, 4 videos a day. You don't have to watch them all. It's okay. I don't expect you to. I just put out 4 actually very different games to just try and appeal to people like me that just like a lot of different stuff. So I've got GeoGuessr, which is unlike pretty much any game out there. I've got a roguelike dungeon crawler Binding of Isaac. I've got essentially semi-RTS in Factorio, and then a grand strategy game. I think it's a good mix because I get a lot of variety in it, and I have a lot of fun playing it. And hopefully now that the technical difficulties have been fixed, you'll get to see me having fun playing a game again instead of trying to just bitch nonstop about the audio issues. So hopefully you've got that at least. Until next time, cheers.